Hi and welcome back to ADHD Australian Families. Life's gotten busy and that's why I haven't really made any other videos. I will be making another one very shortly about, there's something on the screen, very shortly about how our child could just work better in the classroom perhaps, and some tips for the teachers as well. But today I'm just really feeling like I need to talk about our ADHD or ASD, or kids that have behavioural issues and friends or lack thereof, and how that's actually really just hurts them. Like, it obviously hurts us as the parents, but for the child to actually be going through that, it's really damaging to their self-esteem. And I can only just imagine what that would feel like, just that loneliness and the knowing that you're different to everybody else. I think no matter what age, that's really sort of it is damaging. And our kids' lack of self-esteem, even though it may come across that in the home or at school that they're very full on and they're in everybody's face and they appear to sort of just be that really high energy kid, but on the inside they're really struggling. And the older they get, the more you can't hide it. So, and social media obviously plays a huge big part as they get older, up into the teens. And so I just sort of want to backtrack a little bit. So when my child was younger, and look at this, from all the frowning. So when my child was younger, I'm sure I've said in other videos, I can count the times of birthday parties that she was invited to. And, it was actually really, really sad for me. And as I said, but I can just imagine, but like, we as adults have the words to actually express how that makes us feel, seeing our child go through that. But the kids don't have the vocab that we have, or the lived experience. I mean, they're 12 and 13 or younger, however old your child is. So they've only been alive for a little amount of time. And I just wanted to say that for my child, she's actually now got a really nice group of friends. So, I'm sure that's going to change as the years go on, and the maturity level, is, you just notice that a lot more. And, so I think, and I have been told over the years, your child will, find like-minded kids and stuff like that. And my child would always sort of gravitate towards the kids, or the teachers would put my child with, the child that, perhaps came from a bit of a disadvantaged background, or didn't have friends either. I mean, it makes sense. And it was just a constant worry of mine, and some of the teachers too. And the way some handled that over the years was, it takes two people to make a friend. I thought, but now I know, if my child is filled with anxiety and everything about my child is anxious, then, because kids on the spectrum, I've just learned that 95% of their whole being is anxiety. So how are you supposed to learn? How are you supposed to make friends if you are constantly thinking that everybody's looking at you? Oh my gosh, I can't say that. Oh no, now I've said that. when in fact that they're not, and every person feels that way. So friendship is a huge thing with kids that have ADHD or are on the spectrum, huge. And but I just wanted to say, as they get older, for all the mums out there that especially have daughters, because my child is a girl. So, and it's really disheartening when you see on social media, oh, look, sleepover parties and all that. And I tried not to show my child those things. I mean, obviously she'd know, they'd talk about it at school. But I'm just hanging in there, mums, because, as I said, my child now has got a lovely group of friends, and that some of them, I just said 2 friends and 2 were coming over. But in reality, I could have had 5 or 6 girls come and stay the night and watch horror movies. Hooray. And I'm a screamer and a jumper, so this will be fun. Not. But I just wanted to say, just hang in there. It is true, I do believe that like-minded kids, or quirky kids, as what the professionals like to say, that they do gravitate to each other, even though our kids are very easily led. And it's hard when they get to high school. So, but I'm trying, and I'm sure like every other parent out there is trying, and but just because if kids make silly mistakes, it's what happens. That as the kids get older, you really can't sort of say, I don't want you to be friends with that person. But I know a lot of parents that do, and I'm sure I've said it. And I say it in a protective of my child. I don't want her to be seeing and talking about things that are totally inappropriate, which I'm sure they are. But what I can control in my home is what happens. So that's exciting. That friends are abundant. That's the word that came to me. But I just think that I just remember being when my child was from 4 and up, and I think she's been to 2 sleepovers, maybe 3. But just to hang in there, because I know that it seems like that everybody else's child, and they're having sleepovers and fun and going here, there and everywhere, and they've all got their own little cliques. And it will happen for your child. My child's just started a drama, after school drama, and has wanted to since year 4. And anxiety held her back, and she's now got an awesome friend and who also does drama and has buddied up with my child, and they walk there together. And I'm just super proud, and I'm trying not to get emotional, but that's going to happen. And I just remember what it feels like. I feel like I keep going over and over it. But it will happen. You will find other mums to connect with. You will find that as your kids grow up that they will make nice friends, and don't be afraid to sort of steer them away or steer them in the direction. I mean, we're in charge of them. So they're not the ones ruling the roost. Like, we're the adults. They've only been alive for however old your child is. So it's up to us to get our crap together. Not that mine's together. It may appear that it's together, but it's not. I'm just struggling like everybody else. But I've said before, when you work on yourself, everything else just seems to sort of get better or improve or whatever it is. But all I know is that for my family, that I'm very grateful. I've got a very supportive partner, fiancé, and after 15 years. And, you know, he identifies as he sees so much of himself in his child and family. And so he knows that he is on the ASD spectrum. I don't know if, he'd be okay with me saying it. He's quirky as, he knows. And it's genetic. It's genetic. It's not diet or, you know, anything else. It depends. It can, ADHD, I'm not going to go into all of that, but there are other ways of getting it, although genetics is like about 95%. And yeah, so this has not been a very happy one today. So, but I just did want to share that my child has great friends. I'm sure when your child gets to a certain age, especially in high school, they will find their people. And if not, you have to help them, guide them along. There are so many groups and, you know, kids on the spectrum love jumping. There's, you know, a few big trampoline parks. They're all the rage. Our paediatrician said, get a trampoline. Kids on the spectrum, ADHD kids, love trampolining, and we bought one when my child was 2, and we've only just not got one this year. So, you know, that's 10 years of always having a trampoline. They need to get that energy out. So yeah, so this is my next video. And just this weekend, if there were birthday parties and your child was not invited, don't stress, have your own little party, make a cake, and then we all know that turns into a huge big mess that mum has to clean up. And not reminding the child, oh, you didn't get invited. Like, it can be mentioned once, it doesn't need to be mentioned again. The more that we bring things up and have our own anxiety, then that actually goes on to your child. Your child picks up and then they're thinking, well, hang on, she's anxious. Oh, maybe I've got to be anxious too. So, you know, I mean, I have to keep myself in check with that as well. But it does get better. And if it doesn't, then go roller skating every Saturday. Whatever your child shows a glimmer of interest in, get there. Work that extra shift like I'm doing. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I can't believe I had a little tear. But just rest assured that as our kids get older, if the school is on board, you know, because it's such a social thing, school, and, you know, but I'll leave that for the next video. But we've just got to pump our kids up. We've just got to pump our kids up. We've got to make them feel good about themselves because they already know they're so different to everybody else. And as the kids get older, it's very, very apparent. And so just making them feel good about themselves, that's what it's all about, because obviously we would like to feel good about ourselves, and it's just more profound with our kids. Yeah, so give this video a thumbs up and subscribe or share. And now that sort of uni's winding down a little bit, although I've got a test and another little thing, but from October onwards, I will really try my hardest to pump a video out every fortnight, maybe even once a week. I know I've said it before, and one day it will happen. So once again, thank you very much, and take time for yourself, whether that's a cup of tea, a bath, get the kids to bed. Mine go to bed at 8 and 8:30, so myself and Brendan can either sit and talk, or he can do his thing, I can do my thing, and just relax. And everybody works better when they've had a full night's sleep. So yeah, have a good weekend. Thanks everybody. Bye.